Welcome to the Lever Trades podcast, where we take a deep dive into both foundation and advanced educational trading concepts. This video is not intended to provide investment advice. All content and opinions shared are for informational and educational purposes only. Trade at your own risk.
All right, so we are diving deep into a story that honestly, it sounds like something out of a political thriller. But, with a tech twist. We're talking Donald Trump and, wait for it, DeFi.
Yeah, you really can't make this stuff up.
It's about as likely as finding, like a Bitcoin buried in your backyard. But seriously, former President Trump is backing this new DeFi project. World Liberty Financial is what it's called. And it is causing, it's safe to say it's causing quite a stir online.
Definitely piqued my interest.
But before we get into why this whole pairing has everyone buzzing, let's make sure we're all on the same page about DeFi.
Yeah, for sure.
Imagine a world where you could borrow, lend, even trade stocks without ever dealing with a bank or a broker. That's the basic idea behind DeFi. It aims to rebuild our whole financial system on the blockchain. You're basically cutting out the traditional middlemen, right?
Right. And what's so intriguing here is the contrast. You have this incredibly complex and rapidly evolving world. Like DeFi is built on cutting-edge technology, And then on the other hand, you have Donald Trump, a figure, let's just say he's known for a more traditional approach to finance and politics.
Yeah, he's not exactly known for being a tech whiz.
It's this totally unexpected intersection that's got everyone talking.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just talk either.
Oh, yeah.
Things are getting real on October 15th. That's when World Liberty Financial is launching its big token sale. We dug into the details, read through that Decrypt article, and, there's a catch. Initially, this whole thing is only open to accredited investors in the U.S., so we're talking about folks with a net worth of at least $1 million, or an annual income of $200,000, or $300,000 for couples. So yeah, definitely not your average crowdfunding campaign.
Not exactly something just anyone can jump into.
No, not at all. But here's the real kicker, though. World Liberty Financial says they eventually want to be accessible to all Americans. They're aiming to become a one-stop shop for DeFi. That's a bold claim.
That's an understatement.
What does that even mean, in practical terms?
Yeah, that's the real question, isn't it? It's one thing to say, oh yeah, we're going to be a one-stop shop, but DeFi is still such a new and rapidly changing landscape. To truly live up to a claim like that, they'd need to offer a seriously comprehensive set of services. I mean, think about it. Lending and borrowing, sure, but also things like stablecoins. Decentralized exchanges, maybe even more complex DeFi applications like yield farming or prediction markets. It's a massive undertaking.
It almost sounds like they're trying to build a parallel financial system, but instead of Wall Street, it's all run on algorithms and smart contracts.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a fascinating idea, especially considering who's behind it. Because this isn't Trump's first dance with crypto, is it? And let's just say his views haven't always been positive.
Not quite. Remember when Trump said he was not a fan of Bitcoin? Seems his stance has evolved quite a bit since then. Fast forward to today, and he's not just dabbling in NFTs. He's making pro-crypto speeches, and now he's launching a full-fledged DeFi project.
Yeah, that's quite a shift. So what sparked this, crypto evolution? I mean, did he suddenly just, discover the wonders of decentralized finance? Or is there, maybe a more strategic angle at play here?
Right, because this is the same Donald Trump who declared his ambition to make America the crypto capital of the world.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you make of that?
Well, I think it's the question on everyone's mind, isn't it? It's really hard to say for certain what's driving this shift, but it's worth considering a few possibilities. Perhaps Trump genuinely sees the potential of DeFi to, disrupt the status quo in finance.
It aligns with his, disruptive persona, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. But it's also worth noting that, embracing crypto could be a strategic move to tap into a new generation of voters, especially those younger, tech-savvy individuals who are increasingly interested in crypto and its potential.
Yeah, it's a demographic that's been leaning away from traditional financial systems, right? They might be looking for alternatives.
Precisely. And let's not forget, the upcoming election adds another layer of intrigue to this whole scenario.
It's like adding fuel to the fire. So do you think this project is a play to appeal to voters who are just, disillusioned with the current financial systems?
It's certainly a possibility, right? By associating himself with crypto and DeFi, Trump can position himself as a champion of innovation, someone willing to challenge the established norms.
Yeah.
It plays into that narrative of, shaking things up. which it definitely resonated with certain voters in the past.
It's a bold strategy, that's for sure. But what about the regulatory side of things? The crypto world is still very much a Wild West, wouldn't you say? And regulators are scrambling to keep up.
Well, absolutely.
So could this project be a way for Trump to potentially influence the direction of crypto regulation, especially if, he returns to the White House?
It's a question worth considering. One of Trump's, recurring themes is returning power to the people. And DeFi, in its essence, aims to achieve just that, bypassing traditional institutions, giving individuals more control over their assets.
It's like cutting out the middleman, the gatekeepers of finance.
Precisely. Precisely. And that message could be particularly appealing to certain demographics who feel, disenfranchised by the existing system.
Yeah, for sure. But let's not forget about the inherent risks of DeFi. The Decrypt article didn't shy away from that. They even said hacks in the space aren't uncommon, and those are their words, not ours. And when you're dealing with a project as high profile as this one, it feels like the stakes are even higher. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. The higher the profile, the bigger the target. And it's crucial to acknowledge that DeFi is still in its early stages. It comes with its fair share of risks. Hacks and exploits are an unfortunate reality in this space. And anyone looking to invest in World Liberty Financial, or frankly any DeFi project, needs to be fully aware of the potential downsides.
It really is like navigating a minefield of innovation out there. The potential rewards are huge, but so are the risks. What are some red flags, would you say, that investors should watch out for when it comes to these DeFi projects?
Oh, that's the question. First and foremost, I'd say due diligence is key. Investors really need to scrutinize the team behind the project. Do they have a solid track record in DeFi and blockchain technology? Have they built successful projects before?
So it's not just about the names attached, but their actual experience in the space.
Exactly. Exactly. And beyond the team, scrutinizing the technology itself is absolutely paramount. Has the project's code been independently audited, preferably by, reputable security firms?
Right.
This helps ensure there aren't any glaring vulnerabilities that could be exploited by hackers.
Right, because transparency is key in the DeFi world. It's like checking the foundation of a house before you buy it, right? But in this case, the foundation is code.
A perfect analogy. And of course, you can't ignore that the regulatory landscape is constantly evolving. Investors should look for signs that a project is prepared to, navigate the legal and regulatory complexities of the crypto world. How do they plan to comply with KYC and AML regulations? What's their approach to data security, user privacy, things like that?
It feels like there's just a lot more to consider than with a traditional investment.
Absolutely. Investing in DeFi requires a different mindset. It's not just about understanding the technology. It's about evaluating the risks, doing your research, and honestly, being prepared for a bit of a bumpy ride.
It's a wild ride we're all on, isn't it? So as we wrap things up here, I can't help but wonder, what does the future hold for World Liberty Financial? Is this project just like a flash in the pan, or could it actually, reshape the landscape of finance? What do you think?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? You've got Trump's ambition colliding head-on with the unpredictable world of DeFi, all set against the backdrop of, a pretty pivotal election. Will this project be a catalyst for wider DeFi adoption? Or will it become, a cautionary tale about the risks of moving too fast too soon?
It's a story that's still being written, that's for sure. We're all watching to see what happens next. One thing's for sure, though, this is about so much more than just one project. It's about the future of finance, the role of technology in our lives, that delicate balance between, innovation and regulation.
We're living in a time of just unprecedented technological advancement. World Liberty Financial is a perfect example of how those advancements are really challenging the status quo. How this story unfolds, it could have ripple effects far beyond just the world of crypto. It's a fascinating case study, really. The convergence of technology, finance, and politics. It's a story that will definitely continue to unfold in the months and years to come.
So there you have it, our deep dive into Donald Trump's DeFi gamble. It's a story full of intrigue, risk, and of course, the potential to disrupt the world as we know it. So what happens next? Well, that's up to all of us to watch and see. But one thing's for sure, this is just the beginning of a much larger conversation. Keep your ears open, your mind sharp, and as always, stay curious.